From the 14th to the 16th of June, Seymour Railway Heritage Centre's Spirit of Yarrawonga tour became the first passenger train to visit the Oaklands line since its conversion to standing gauge. For our first shot, we witnessed some nearby Crimson Rosellas, a V-line sprinter on its way to Seymour, and V-line's own N451 leading the Spirit of Yarrawonga through Kilmore East. With the train reaching speeds of up to 115 kilometres an hour on the main line, we took the opportunity to beat the train to Avenel during its stopover. At Benalla, the Spirit stops in the yard to await for a train order and some master keys before embarking on the next leg of the journey to Yarrawonga. Just up the track is the Sale Yards Road level crossing, home to a small memorial landmark to acknowledge 3 losses of life after a tragic accident of another heritage train in 2002. The unmistakable sound of nearby cockatoos and 2 EMD engines sound across the valley at the Stockyard Creek bridge. The Oaklands line was one of many Victorian branch lines in this northeastern corridor, such as lines to Pachelba East, Beechworth, Bright, Waganya and Cudgela, just to name a few. All those aforementioned branch lines are now closed, which begs the question, how did Oaklands survive? To sum it up in one word, grain. As you will see throughout this trip, the valley is enriched with a variety of grain fields, in which freight trains still operate today to places such as Oaklands and, on the rare occasion, Yarrawonga. Our first stop is reached at the small town of Goorambat, one of many places up north where you can find some outstanding artworks on old grain silos. Some of my personal favourites being Jimmy DeVate's Nanking Kestrel and Powerful Owl. After a serving of lunch on board the train, passengers get a chance to disembark, stretch their legs, and wander around the town. Meanwhile, the rest of us took in the sights of the C and N-class locomotive leaders working side by side. The next silo stop is Devenish. The silo art here was made by local artist Cam Scale to honour the 50 Devenish locals who enlisted to the Australian military in the First World War. Now that you've made it halfway through the video, I'd like to give a shout out to Seymour Railway Heritage Centre. Rail enthusiasts like myself love to chase these trains, however the volunteer group can only run tours if people are willing to buy tickets to ride on board their trains. I've ridden on board behind the Royal Train and Spirit of Progress, where you can explore the luxury life of a bygone era while travelling across the state, while enjoying food and drinks offered by local communities. You can visit srhc.org.au to find out more. Due to the poor track on the ageing Oaklands line, trains are only allowed to travel at a top speed of only 30 kilometres per hour.
SRHC's paid a lot of money to make this happen.
In 1883, the first of 3 rail extensions following the construction of the North East Line reached to the town of St James, a small establishment home to the northeastern G.J. Coles store, a historical landmark and now one of the founding roots to what's now known as one of Australia's biggest supermarket chains in Coles. The nearby silo, made by Tim Botel, also features artworks of the Coles family. Further up the line is one of the more turbulent sections of track, showing us just why the speed restriction is needed. The establishment of Tungamah is home to Sabrain Simcox mural, featuring a variety of Australian birds including a sulphur-crested cockatoo, a galah, a hummingbird, a kookaburra, 2 fairy wrens, white ibis, an owl and 2 brolgas. One of my favourite water birds is the white-faced heron, as it flies past milepost 249 as the final sides of late fade across Telford. And at last, the first ever standard gauge train to Yarrawonga has finally arrived. The train will now shut down for the night and await its next duties on the Yarrawonga lunch train tomorrow. Meanwhile, I took the opportunity to scout for some nearby barn owls, a common sight in the rural farmlands, acting as a local pest control, keeping the rats out of the fields. Next time, we catch the lunch train, navigate the track back into Benalla, with C-Class leader C501 catching the first rays of weekend sunshine. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.